So, today we're going to tackle a program that's recognized by top universities all over the world, the International Baccalaureate Diploma Program. You've probably heard it called the IBDP. Let's dive in and figure out what makes this pre-university curriculum so respected and, frankly, so unique.
All right, let's kick things off with a big question, one that a lot of us are probably asking. How can your education actually prepare you for a future that's changing so fast and is so globally connected? Well, believe it or not, the whole idea behind the International Baccalaureate was to answer exactly that.
So, what is the IB Diploma? At its core, it's this really comprehensive two-year program for students between 16 and 19. It's built around this central core, surrounded by 6 academic subject groups, and the whole thing is framed by this idea of international mindedness. This structure isn't just about hitting the books. It's kind of like a blueprint for developing knowledgeable, curious, and caring young people.
Okay, so how do you actually build one of these things? How does it all come together? It really all starts with the way the curriculum is structured. The goal is to create a really balanced academic journey with a mix of, well, both breadth and depth.
And this is where the program's flexibility really starts to show. See, you take subjects at 2 different levels. You've got your higher level courses, or HLs. Think of these as the deep dives into subjects you're really passionate about. We're talking 240 hours of instruction. Then you have your standard level courses, or SLs, which give you that broader understanding with 150 hours. So you'll usually end up taking 3 or 4 HLs and then 2 or 3 SLs, which lets you create a curriculum that's, totally customized to you. All right, so let's look at the subject groups. 3 of them are all about communication and humanity. Studies in language and literature is all about mastering your first language. Language acquisition is your ticket to learning a new one. And individuals in societies, that's where you use subjects like history, economics, and psychology to really dig into the complex ways our world works.
The other 3 groups are there to round out your education: sciences, mathematics, and the arts. And that flexibility we talked about, it continues here. So if you're not exactly Picasso or Mozart, no worries. You can actually swap out the arts for another science, or maybe a third language, or another social science, tailoring the whole diploma to whatever you're planning for the future. So, those 6 subjects, that's your academic foundation. But what really makes the IB Diploma unique, what truly sets it apart, is the mandatory core. And this isn't just some extra work they tack on. Honestly, it's the heart of the whole program, designed to connect all your learning and really push you beyond the classroom walls. So this core is made up of 3 things that every single IB student has to do. Something called Theory of Knowledge, the extended essay, and a project called CAS. Each one is designed to help you develop skills that go way beyond just knowing facts for a test. First up, you've got Theory of Knowledge, or TOK for short. Now, this is not your typical class. It's really a course all about critical thinking. It's going to challenge you to connect all your different subjects and ask these huge questions like, wait, how does a historian know something versus how a scientist knows something? It's about understanding how we know what we claim to know. Next up is the extended essay. And this is a big one. We're talking about a 4,000-word independent research paper on a topic that you get to choose. It's basically your first real taste of what university-level research feels like, where you have to manage a big project from start to finish. And just to give you an idea of how cool this can be, check out this real extended essay title. I mean, how cool is that? It's mixing physics, biology, technology. The point isn't just to write some long paper. It's to become a real expert on something you're genuinely curious about. And the final piece of this core puzzle is something called CAS. You can think of CAS as the perfect counterbalance to all that intense academic work. It's all about learning by doing, getting you out of the classroom and involved in real-world activities that help you grow, both personally and with others. So, CAS breaks down into 3 parts. Creativity, that could be anything from directing a play to learning how to code. Activity, that's all about your physical health, maybe joining a sports team or training for a 5K. And service is about getting involved in your community in a meaningful way. Altogether, they make sure you're growing as a whole person, not just as a student. Okay, so you do all this work, what's the payoff? I mean, what's in it for you? Well, this is where the IB Diploma really shines, especially when it comes to getting you ready for university and everything that comes after.
And look, you don't have to take my word for it. The results kind of speak for themselves. This quote from an admissions dean at Stanford, it's pretty typical of how top universities see the program. They love IB grads because they know they're walking in the door already prepared for the tough curriculum they offer.
And we've got the data to back this up too. Just look at this study from students in Chicago public schools. It's pretty eye-opening. I mean, look at that difference. IB students were way more likely to go to college, get into a tougher college, and, this is the really important part, they were more likely to stay in college and finish their studies. They're not just getting in, they're thriving.
All right, the rewards are pretty clear. But how do you actually earn the diploma? Let's break down the scoring and what it takes to get across that finish line.
So here's how the numbers work. Each of your 6 subjects gets a grade from 1 to 7. So that's a maximum of 42 points right there from your classes. To actually get the diploma, you need to score at least 24 points. The average score worldwide usually floats right around 30, and the highest you can possibly get is a 45.
Right, but wait. A perfect score is 45. So where do those last 3 points come from? They come from the core. This little matrix here shows you how your grades in theory of knowledge and the extended essay, which are graded from A to E, can combine to give you up to 3 extra bonus points. So doing really well in your critical thinking and research directly pumps up your final score.
So, after 2 years of really hard work, of thinking critically and growing as a person, this is what it's all about. And really, the IB diploma is so much more than just a piece of paper. It's this globally recognized signal to the world that you are ready, not just for university, but for life as an engaged, thoughtful global citizen.
You know, the whole mission of the IB is to develop curious, knowledgeable, and caring young people who can help make the world a better, more peaceful place. So, I guess the final question is for you. Are you ready to be a part of that?